We have 6 theatrical main live-action Scooby Doo movies. There are more other Scooby Doo movies that came out, but I'm deciding to rank 6 different Scooby Doo movies with the 4 live-action films, the Daphne and Velma movie, and Scoob from the worst to the best. So let's get into that. What's going on, guys? This is Josh, aka Future Filmmaker, doing our 40 reviews, and with the release of Scoob last month, I decided to take it upon myself and rank the 6 Scooby Doo movies I personally chose from the worst to the best. Now, 5 of these movies I do enjoy a lot. One of them I don't enjoy, and obviously we're gonna get into it when you get to my number 6. So before I get started, please be sure to hit that subscribe button and the bell to get notified when new videos up every single day, every single week. All my social media links are in the description box down below. If you want to donate money to my time or send fan mail, you can DM me privately or email me privately. And with that being said, let's get started with the ranking. In 6th place is easily the worst one on this list is Daphne and Velma. This movie, I gotta tell you, Daphne and Velma, I did not, when this came out in 2018, I did not enjoy Daphne and Velma. And it is, part of me hates having to say that because how much of a Scooby Doo fan I am and how much of a Daphne and Velma fan I am. But I appreciate what Ashley Tisdale and Jennifer Tisdale, who are the producers on this movie, I appreciate what they were trying to do with this, but it just wasn't enough there to provide a story for Daphne and Velma. The story is little to non-existent. I feel like the characters are not really that well handled, and I felt like a lot of times this movie was lame. And that's the biggest problem with this movie. Everything about this movie feels lame. It feels non-earned, and also to a point, it feels necessary. I was pretty unnecessary. I mean, if I was pretty harsh on this review on this movie back in 2018, I still feel that 2018 feeling about this. Granted, Sarah Jeffrey, she does the best she can. Brian Stepanek does the best he can. Even Laura Morano's sister, Vanessa Morano, does the best she can. And there are some funny moments here, and there is a few attempts at making me laugh and making me enjoy it here. But at the end of the day, Daphne and Velma is just not a great film. 5th place is Scooby Doo: Curse of the Lake Monster. Now this one is pretty enjoyable. I do like it. I do enjoy the chemistry between Fred, Daphne, Velma, and Shaggy and Scooby, and I do like the story that they're going to. They're going to Daphne's old place to stop this lake monster, and you do have some nice story there, and you do have a nice little romance spark with Shaggy and Velma, which ultimately they decide to stay as friends. And the CG on Scoob looks a lot better this time around than it did in The Mystery Begins, and it does feel like that it feels more like you're watching an episode of Scooby Doo in live action. The problem that Curse of the Lake Monster does have is that when you get into some of the other characters, they're not fully fleshed out, and there are some times where I feel like the writing does kind of leave a mismark a little bit, but at the end of the day, I still find myself enjoying Scoob: Curse of the Lake Monster with those issues. Coming in 4th place, this is going to be a bit nostalgic, but Scooby Doo 2: Monsters Unleashed. Yes, I did go see this in the theater back in '04, by the way. So I do have very fond memories of seeing this in the theater. And this is a movie I rewatched consistently when I got the DVD multiple times. And when this is a movie I watched consistently. I watched religiously as a kid, and even as a 21-year-old going into 22 in 2 more months. Well, by July 1st, it will be 1 month. Scooby Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed is a fun movie. I enjoy Scooby Doo 2 Monsters Unleashed still. It's fun. They did bring in some more classic monsters into the movie, like the 10,000 Volt Ghost and the Black Knight and the Pterodactyl Ghost and the 2 Skeleton Man, one with the red eyeball and the green eyeball, which they're pretty funny. And it did have a nice story of Shaggy and Scooby Doo. They're trying to prove that they can be more than screw-ups. But the message here is that you shouldn't be afraid of who you want to be, who you are inside. Which that does come into play later on in the movie with Velma and Shaggy and Scooby Doo talking. And I think the easily standout in this movie is, of course, Matthew Lillard and as Shaggy and Scooby Doo's relationship. I did like what they were trying to do with Velma and the Patrick character by Seth Green.
Who's your mommy?
I did like that they gave us more, and also I do like the story of what if the people of Coolsville are turning against the Mystery Incorporated throughout the entire movie with this monster army. And then there's a lot of fun moments here. It's a good soundtrack. The thing that does hold this movie back a little bit is some of the humor in the script by James Gunn, but it's still a fun, enjoyable Scooby Doo movie that I still like to rewatch. So, just saying. Now we're into the top 3. Before I get into the top 3 in this ranking, be sure to tell me in the comment section down below how would you rank the Scooby Doo movies from the worst to the best, live action or animation, or just one, or just both of them. Also, my social media links are in the description box down below. Be sure to hit the subscribe button and the bell to get notified when new videos are up on the channel, as well as when I'm live or I post something in my community tab, because if you don't hit the notification bell, you're not going to get everything. So, and also, if you want to send money to my channel, or if you want to send fan mail, you can DM me or email me privately, and I'll get back to you there. But with that being said, let's get into the top 3 best Scooby Doo movies. Third place in the Scooby Doo ranking, we have the new Scooby Doo movie, Scoob. I have fun with this movie. I think this is one of the more underrated films of 2020. I was excited from the moment this was announced in 2014. I said, hey, a new Scooby Doo movie? Yeah, I can't wait. And then when I heard this was going to be the first of a shared cinematic universe, I got even more excited, because a Hanna-Barbera cinematic universe with all Hanna-Barbera's classic characters like Scooby Doo and Tom and Jerry, you can't pass that up. It's like any Hanna-Barbera fan's dream. But that's where I do have to come into the negatives when it comes to the movie, which my review is on the channel. The problems that I still have with this movie is I feel like Simon Cowell didn't need to be there. Some of the humor, especially some of the modern jokes, did not work for me. And I felt like Velma and Shaggy, while Gina Rodriguez and Will Forte does a good job in their roles, I feel like you can't help but miss Linda Cardellini and Matthew Lillard. But the rest of the cast I thought was pretty fun. Mark Wahlberg as Blue Falcon was pretty fun. I did enjoy Tracy Morgan. I did enjoy all the rest of I did enjoy Zac Efron as Fred and Amanda Seyfried as Daphne, and I did love Frank Welker as Scoob. And the animation is pretty top notch for a movie like this. The animation is beautiful. And if you were expecting to see young Shaggy and Scooby Doo throughout the whole movie, like I said, you're gonna be disappointed because Shaggy and Scooby Doo, that whole part with them as kids is only in the first couple of minutes of the movie. But also another problem here is that it does try a little too hard to set up a cinematic universe instead of being its own film. But I am excited to see where this cinematic universe is gonna go. If they want to do a sequel to Scoob, you can improve on the issues that are fixed here. And I don't mind the diverse cast of this actor. Zac Efron, Amanda Seyfried, Tracy Morgan, Ken Jeong, Kiersey Clements, Mark Wahlberg. They all do a good job. But again, as I said, I feel like if you have someone else playing the parts of Shaggy and Velma, if Matthew Lillard got the chance to be asked to come back for Shaggy, and I felt like if you would have found a different actress to play Velma, then I felt like I would have been fine with Shaggy and Velma. But I still enjoy Scoob to a certain extent. Coming in second place here is, of course, Scooby Doo: The Mystery Begins. This is the origin of Scooby Doo and how Mystery Inc. came together. And 2009, I remember watching this on Cartoon Network, and I enjoyed myself with it. I thought it was a fun origin. I thought it was a nice little story. It didn't need to be over the top and convoluted and too much going on. I did enjoy the new replacements for the actors in the first two Roger Gosnell movies. Problem that I do have I feel like there is the CG on Scooby Doo. Like I said, I know this is a made-for-TV Scooby Doo movie on Cartoon Network, but some of the CGI in places with Scoob could have been a little better. Scooby Doo could have been a little better. I know it's 2009, and I know that not all CG effects when you do a made-for-TV movie is not going to look good, and the Dragon in Descendants 2 does kind of prove that. But if they will fix that, and there are some moments, just a few moments of comedy that were like, really? But at the end of the day, Scooby Doo: The Mystery Begins is still fun. I still enjoy it. I still rewatch it. So now for my number one favorite Scooby Doo movie, and again I'm going on the nostalgia train for this, and that is Scooby Doo 2002. I watched this movie as a kid religiously. It's like every time it came on, you gotta watch it. You got DVD, I gotta watch it. And like I said, this is one of the better adaptations of a classic TV show. When you look at it, because when you look at TV shows that are being turned into movies, there's some good ones, and this is one of them. But there's also some bad ones like The Last Airbender. Ooh. But anyways, Scooby Doo 2002. I think this movie works as a live-action film. Like it does. I'm not gonna say it's perfect because it does have its problems. I do feel like again, there is some moments of humor in here that doesn't always work. There is one subplot with Mary Jane and Shaggy that it kind of doesn't go anywhere, but it's cool. It's good to give Shaggy some kind of romance, so I didn't really mind it too much. Yeah, I like Scrappy Doo in this movie, especially when he gets pretty big towards the end of the movie. The cast in this movie I do think work. I do like Freddie Prinze Jr. as Fred. I think he was a decent choice for Fred Jones. Sarah Michelle Gellar as Daphne I thought was great. I do like the voice actor they picked for Scooby Doo. Matthew Lillard is easily the standout as Shaggy. He's definitely my favorite Shaggy. He's the one I grew up on, and he's the one I watched the most. And Linda Cardellini is Velma. Velma is hotter than Daphne as far as this movie goes. Don't get me wrong, Sarah Michelle Gellar, she's gorgeous. She good looking as Daphne, but Linda Cardellini, she is gorgeous as Velma. Linda Cardellini, she got the character of Velma down. just like Matthew Lillard got the character of Shaggy down. And you have a nice soundtrack to it. I do like the light color vibe to it, and it was filmed from the Australian watchers. This was filmed in Queensland, Australia, so I can tell that it was filmed. The scenes on the island, and I do like the opening when they try to catch the Lunar Ghost. It's a nice soundtrack. You do have other cast members like Rowan Atkinson and Isla Fisher, a very young Isla Fisher with the American accent, and you have Miguel Nunez Jr., aka Juana Man, in here for a little bit. He was funny. And I do like the whole concept of Spooky Island with the castle. Yeah, and what's in this castle. I do like a lot of the ideas in this movie. Like I said, there are problems, but I still enjoy Scooby Doo 2002 to this day. It is, you can say it's Josh being nostalgic, but it's Scooby Doo. I can't help it. But again, Linda Cardellini, and my friend Jacques, he did make a extended cut, which puts the lead series back in, which I do kind of feel like is a little bit of another problem, because I do feel like this movie is a little too fast paced. There are some things that kind of doesn't make a whole lot of sense in the lead scenes. They do fix that, and the locker room deleted scene. I'm just gonna tell you, it's on YouTube. That is pretty funny, but it's also pretty scary. But Linda Cardellini, woohoo! Well, she's still good looking to this day, so you can't say Linda Cardellini is ugly. So, with that being said, that was my ranking of the Scooby Doo movies. All my social media links are description box down below. Comment down your ranking, live action, animation, or both combined. And you guys keep it cool and join the Epictasticness.